They're doing MRIs for my son. Probably going to stitch him up. They don't know if they're going to keep him or not. So
Can you show us a picture of your child right now? Can
yeah.
you tell us about your child, the picture that you're showing us right now?
This is Tiandre. He's 14. He's very emotional. Every time he looked at me, he cries. He said, just a wake-up call for him.
What was it like to be reunited with him, to be close to his side once again?
It was wonderful. Like, I was knocking the doctors out the way. Like, you guys are going to have to wait.
So you're telling us 4 children you had on that bus, 4 of your children.
Yes.
I mean, it must be really difficult for you.
It is.
How did you find out?
I was at work on a phone call, but my daughter, she kept calling me back to back, and I knew something was wrong. And I answered the phone, and she was screaming, saying the bus got in an accident.
How do you describe it?
She just said the bus was in an accident, and her brother, his eye was bleeding. And, yeah, I didn't know the bus flipped over until I was already on my way.
When you heard that?
It was, my supervisor just had to grab me. And they you need to calm down before you drive.
Would you ever have imagined you'd be going to the hospital today for your kids?
No.
Have you seen the images of that bus?
I have. And the car.
What do you think when you see that bus flipped over like that?
It's good that, mostly everybody was safe compared to how the bus flipped over, went, I guess, basically it looks like it went through the gate and flipped, and my kids are saying the bus flipped like 5 times. One of my kids said he was holding on to the rails. My daughter was in a seat by herself, and all the kids ended up on top of her. So,
what's the scene inside that pediatric emergency room?
Very emotional. Lots of parents up there, very emotional. I actually was able to see one of the little girls who pulled my son. She pulled my son out. But it's just emotional for everybody. Like, everybody just needs to really embrace your loved ones, because tomorrow's not promised to anybody at all. And, even the situation, the lady in the car, our prayers go out to her and her family too. Accidents happen all the time. I mean, I was hearing parents saying, she's hurt, it's her fault. But she has loved ones who love her too. So.
And hearing that there is one child that is in critical condition right now.
Yeah.
What, as a mother, how are you feeling?
Hurt. It's really giving me a wake-up call. When things happen to you personally, it really affects you compared to just seeing stuff on the news. When it's you in the situation, it's totally different. Like, my kids are all I have.
What happens next? Are they going to stay at the hospital? Are you going to have to stay here for the foreseeable future?
Possibly. We're just waiting to see if they're going to keep him or not. Possibly transfer him to Sunrise.
Have you heard anything in the past about the bus driver?
Well, on their route, they keep having bus drivers, different bus drivers. Every couple days, every week, it's a different bus driver. It's always issues on the bus. So my first thing was, it's been a lot of accidents with buses in Las Vegas lately. What is going on?
How important is it for you to get answers, for an investigation to happen?
It's very important. Like, I need to know what happened. Who was at fault? I'm hearing, the lady ran the red light. I don't know.
What changes do you want to see? I know it's early, but are there any changes you want to see offhand with the bus?
They need to put buses. I was just looking at live, and it said Nevada, it's unrequired that the driver has a seatbelt. So my children's lives aren't that important. The driver's life is important.
Forgive me because we showed up late. I know you've maybe been asked this question before. First of all, do you mind sharing your name with me?
Tonisha Deesh Jones.
Can you spell that for me, please?
TONYISADEASE-JONES.
And how many of your children were on the bus?
3 of 4 children.
3 or 4 children were on the bus?
Yes.
And they again, forgive me, I know I'm asking you, but they've already asked you, but their condition?
2 of them are fine. One of them, he's in and out of consciousness. His face is messed up. They're going to try and do stitches. His tooth went through his mouth, so he has a hole in his cheek. So
How would you describe your morning?
it was fine until I got that call. You know when something's wrong. My daughter kept calling me back to back. I knew something was wrong. I had just texted her and asked her, "You guys ready for school?" She said we were leaving for the bus. 20 minutes later, I get the call.
What was it like in the room with your children?
It was emotional. Just a lot of hugs, prayers. My one son, every time he looks at me, he cries.
Your son that you said was going in and out of consciousness, how old is he?
He's 14. Yeah. He's the oldest, and just emotional.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mhm.